In theory, if you stopped right now and you didn't do anything else, you've achieved the thing that you were after. The only reason why people are forgotten is because their story goes into the grave with them because they did not tell it. That is the only reason why people get forgotten, because the stories and their story goes into the grave and their mouths are sealed forever. If I died today, my story is going to live way past me. Because I've planted it in the heart of hundreds of thousands of people in person and millions of people over the last decade. So it's my responsibility, though, to keep talking. We've done 100 odd different webinars, master classes, night school. But I still, next week, I need to get in front of an audience and tell my story. I got to keep telling my story. I can't just tell it once. Everything you've done is because of the fact that you didn't fit in.
Right.
Like every move that you've made. And I think that we're together, we're seeing this pattern.
Right.
It was the want to fit in, the yearn to fit in, the need to fit in.
Right.
And that's a human thing, because every white guy, every black guy, every Chinese person, Asian, Indian, part-time Mexicans, all of them, they have a need to fit in.
Right.
So when you say it, it's not about being a black woman. When I get on camera, I'm like, I wanted to die. I really wanted to kill myself. And I thought about trying to figure out how to get this thing done. I know I'm talking to the human who has felt like, I just don't even matter. And I don't know the way out. It's a human plea. It's not a black plea. It's not a black woman plea. It's not a single mom plea.
Right.
So, flipping this, the person who's waiting for you right now, they still don't feel like they fit in at this moment. And they never have. That's why we talked about the guy last night. That's why he don't have no kids.
So true. Yeah. Yep.
That's why he goes 4 times a year to the gathering, show him face. Because he knows how to operate at a high level.
Right.
But he doesn't feel like he fits in.
Right. Right.
And she don't feel like she fits in. So you know where they decided to fit in? The same way you said, yo, I'm going to go run through this basketball game. They said, you know where I'm going to fit in? I'm going to fit in with money. And then they pursued that. But then once you get to the money place, you're like, oh, shit. This shit is hollow up here. Oh, God. Okay, but I'm here. I have a title. I got my law degree. I done put everybody in debt. I can elevate myself from everybody else and disappear from the world. No one gets to see either how much I drink, how sad I am, how lonely I am. I get to create facades and money will let me do that. So I'm not going to whip out the Rolex, but I'll let you see my $800 watch. I'm going to show up in my BMW because I can hide with these things.
Right.
And I'm going to hide long enough. But then we get to the other part of the thing that we talked about, which is there's only so much shit we can buy. And then you're like, oh, I have a problem. Because the loneliness or the I don't fit in, it swallows you. Emotionally, it swallows you. And no amount of money can fix that pain. And you can't pour any more money in that hole. I know, I've been there. You cannot. Even if you wanted to. Your next responsibility is to keep talking about where you didn't fit in. The days, the hours, the minutes, where you didn't fit in.
The at home, the with your brothers, the band, the flags.
In the class.
All that stuff that we just talked about.
Because it was everywhere you went. Which means that you probably there was something that you acquired or developed that allowed you to keep your head above the water as you didn't fit in. that thing, whatever that thing is that you did, is the product that you then sell. That's the solution. So for me, I felt alone. I needed community. Yesterday, I explained to you about night school's structure. Day one is to weed people out. Because I'm looking for like homies at all the price points. We're looking for people who we want to hang out with. There is not a person, am I wrong? There's not a person, Matt, that we have ever had anywhere that we wouldn't sit and have late night drinks with till 1 a.m. There's not one person in the last 3-4 years, I mean, no lie, that at any price point that we have sold to anything, I'm talking about like $39.99 to $39,000, that we would not all want to sit and drink with until 1 a.m. I can't think of one person. And so it's like, I created the thing to solve my own problem. What we're looking for is, what was the thing? You did a thing, and that thing is what you're going to be known for. I used my story like a cloak. I allowed my story to give me my confidence. I allowed my story to make it okay to be me. I allowed my story to be the reason why you should buy from me. I made my story the reason why you should be my friend, why you should come work for me, why you should partner with me. Because it's kind of all I have. What's your thing?
I believe the thing that really allowed me to stay above water, as I was sharing with Matt, I memorized a poem when I was a little girl. It says, "Don't quit." And I memorized that poem. And that was the one thing that I repeated over and over. Where most time in my closet, or someone tried to, speak negatively towards me, or say that I couldn't do anything, it was that poem. Don't
How
quit.
often were you in your closet?
I was in the closet, and it was only during the daytime because I was afraid of the dark, like the natural dark. I was always so afraid of the dark.
How often were you in
the closet?
Like,
I would say minimum maybe once a week at least. I would just go into the closet.
how old are you?
I'm a little girl, maybe 7 or 8. I mean, I do remember that. I was little.
What did the closet give you?
Security. And I fit in. It was just me and whatever was in there. Clothes, my shoes.
Your stuff.
Yeah, my stuff. Right.
Because on the outside, you didn't fit in.
Didn't fit in.
And at different chapters, moments, and days, different people made sure that you knew in some way, shape, form, figure that you didn't fit in.
Right.
And you didn't fit in because, are you willing to finish the sentence?
If I can, I'll try. Mostly, let's see, probably some of it had to do with the fact that I had a different dad than my brothers. The other piece to it was I didn't look like my brothers, the same skin tone. Like my skin tone is light complected compared to their complexion. The third piece is because I had brothers, my best friends, although I didn't fit in, my best friends were boys. So then now the girls are jealous. So there's jealousy in there. And I think those are the biggest, probably top 3, 4 pieces as to why I felt as though I didn't really fit in.
And what state am I in?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
So Pennsylvania. Right.
Safer if I'm lighter?
Safer,
more accepted if I'm lighter
if
skin?
you're lighter. Me or just in general?
I'm asking in general.
I don't know because I didn't fit in. So I really didn't pay attention to.
Did you want to be darker?
That would have been nice, but I realized that probably didn't matter either because I got the first awakening of black-white when I went to a Catholic middle school in 6th grade when my best friend was white and her dad said, "Oh no, you can't talk to ends on the phone." So, yeah.
Is race here elementary, middle, and high school?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And race is the backbone of not fitting in.
Yes, probably the biggest piece.
It's the biggest piece.
It's the highlight. Yeah, that's probably number 1.
Who was the greatest? Where's the greatest place that you didn't fit in?
The greatest?
Yes. What's at the top of the list? Because I asked you this question before, but the answer is going to change.